Today we are talking Moorea, as in Tahiti. It's a perfect time to be talking about Tahiti, right? Everybody wishes they were on vacation, but if you were on vacation in Moorea, what could you do while you're there? People think of Tahiti and think of those gorgeous overwatered bungalows, but is there more to it than just that? What would you do other than sit on your balcony? Not that we have anything wrong with sitting on a balcony. Today's episode of Vacations Live, we are talking all about what you can do on the beautiful island of Moorea in Tahiti and giving you some fantastic ideas for your honeymoon, anniversary trip, or complete bucket family list trip. Join us and let's talk about it today. Hello, travelers. I am Mandy Horn, the Traveling Compass. If you do not know me, I am here to help you with global luxury inspiration. We are talking all about Moorea on the island of Tahiti today, and these videos are ones we do to help our clients as travel advisors to find wonderful destinations that they want to visit with the people that they love, right? We're all busy. We all would love to get away to connect, and that's what we're doing here on Vacations Live. Today we are talking Moorea. Now, you may not have heard of Moorea. Typically, like when we talk, at least as U.S. Residents, when we're talking about Tahiti, people just think of like one thing, like Tahiti. But Tahiti is actually made up of several islands. It's French Polynesia, and there's actually all of these different islands. They all have different personalities within Tahiti. And, you know, when I typically talk with clients, they're like, I want to go to Tahiti because I want to do the overwater bungalow. Fantastic. But they haven't thought about a whole lot more after that. Like, is there anything else they'd like to do? Right? And which island in Tahiti? And a lot of times people are surprised when I ask them that, like, which island in Tahiti do you want to go to? And they're like, there's more than one? And there are. So today we're talking about a very special one, the island of Moorea, that is just 30 minutes by ferry, or like 5 minutes. I don't know how long the flight is, but the flight is not very long. You can fly from the actual island of Tahiti, where there is the airport for Tahiti. Papeete is the international airport, and you'll fly onto the island of Tahiti. And then if you wanted to go the next day to a different island, which is how most people experience Tahiti when they go, they will actually go then to a different island within the Tahitian islands. A lot of people choose Moorea because it's a fantastic destination to explore. And so if you're joining me or if you're catching the replay, go ahead. If you've ever wanted to do one of those overwater bungalows, if you've ever thought about doing Tahiti, leave me a comment with, you know, like what would be the first thing you would do if you were in your overwater bungalow. I'd love to hear it. So, you know, make sure you're leaving that for me. Now, when we're looking at Moorea, like I said, it's 30 minutes by ferry. So typically your flight gets in the evening into Papeete, into the main island of Tahiti. So you overnight there, and then the next day you travel on to a different island. And, you know, most famously is Bora Bora. Most people are most familiar with that. But Moorea is actually a great choice for people who really love to do things. And I'm going to bring up here, let me just pull up a map of Moorea for you, because it will help, I think, here. Okay, so here we have Moorea, right? Now, the thing about Moorea, like I said, 30 minutes from the main island, you can take this beautiful ferry and you're going to come in, and it's a little bit shaped like a W if you're looking at it. And one of the really cool things about Moorea is that most of the hotels are located on the edges of the island. So you can kind of see the whole like map here. There's that little ribbon all the way around. Most of the hotels are located on the island. Now, like on Bora Bora, a lot of the hotels, not all of them, but a lot of them are located out on the Motu, which would be those like sandbars out in the ocean there. You see those thin ribbons of sand that kind of outline the very edge. That's where the sand pokes up out of the water there, and those are called Motus. Now in Bora Bora, a lot of the hotels are out on the Motu, which means that to enter the interior of the island or do more on the island, you have to kind of take a boat and do some extra things. Not necessarily a bad thing. It can be really cool, but it can be a little bit more complicated. And so Bora Bora tends to be better if you're just kind of wanting to sit and relax. But if you want to do something, Moorea works really, really super well because a lot of the hotels are located on the island and not out on the motu. So you're not usually far from getting to anywhere in the island. The whole island is about an hour and a half if you were to drive all the way around it. And that ribbon that you see in the green there, all the way around the ribbon, all the way around that island, that is the one road that just circumvents the whole island. And so it takes about an hour and a half if you were going to do the whole thing. So very explorable. Nothing is ever too far away, and really just a beautiful island. If you have been to the Hawaiian Islands, this one is most like Kauai, which is known as the Garden Isle of the Hawaiian Islands. It's very much like Jurassic Park, right? And it just beautiful, lush jungles, very outdoorsy, very nature-centric. Moorea is that way. It's perfect for exploring. So is Kauai. For those who love to be out and doing things, Moorea is a fantastic choice. And so you'll notice some really cool features on the map here. There's 2 bays up on the north of the island that are near one another, but those are excellent things to explore. You also have Belvedere Lookout in the center of the island with the crater just to the south. And this kind of gives you the shape of what we're looking at. If you're looking for the Lagoonarium, that is due east from Belvedere Lookout on the out in the lagoon area. So it's just a gorgeous, and it really, I grabbed the satellite map because it gives you a good idea of just how beautiful the blues are. You have those deep sea blues, and then those light blues from where the water is not as deep because you're out in the atoll and you're out in the lagoon, and you just have this gorgeous water, perfect in those lagoon areas for snorkeling. And so we're going to talk about what you can do on this amazing island. Okay, so like I said, after you're done sitting on your overwater bungalow, and make sure that you're leaving me your comments on what you would do, the first thing you would do in your overwater bungalow, is really, you want to get out. And one of our pro tips that we would leave you with is, it's really great once you arrive in Moorea to pick an activity that lets you kind of get your bearings and go around the whole island. One of those could be something like you could drive it. You can, they have roadsters, or they do have rental cars, but you can drive around the whole island. You can do a scooter. You can do an electric bike. It is some mountainous terrain, so if you're going to do a regular bike, you'd want a mountain bike, but we recommend something with a motor because there's some hills. But you can go or you can ATV in the interior and just really go all the way around and get a really good idea for the island, get your bearings on those lookouts, on those beautiful bays, on what this island is all about. Talk with your guide and your locals. As you do that, you can kind of stop and see some things, talk with other people about where they love to eat, what they love to do, and really kind of take that in before you decide how you want to spend, you may already have some ideas of how you want to spend the rest of your time, but it's really just a great way to get introduced to the island and to know what you're getting into, right? To really get excited for the whole week. So that's something that we recommend you do right away. Now, Moorea and the Tahitian Highlands are famous for some of the animal encounters that you can do while you are there. So one of them, and I'm going to pull up a picture here for you guys because it's super cool. Isn't that cool? Our humpback whales, okay? And here I have a mama and a baby because in Tahiti, that is where the humpback whales come to give birth. The nearly year-round fabulous temperatures and fabulously warm water are perfect for baby whales. And so you will see these wonderful creatures there from August to October, okay? So kind of a window. If that's really important to you, make sure you're traveling the same time. But you can go do a whale watching tour to see these guys. You can also see usually dolphins if you're doing that kind of tour. But this was just utterly amazing. As I recommending this stuff to clients, you can get in the water with the humpback whales. I mean, and can you imagine? It's kind of, I think, like standing next to the ocean where it makes you feel small, and there's just something really amazing about that. The humpback whales, you would see the footage of people in the snorkeling, and it's just this beautiful deep blue water, and they're in with these majestic whales, and of course they're keeping respectful distance because you want animal encounters that are respectful of the animals and don't disturb their environment. And in doing that, it's just you just get to be so close to these majestic creatures when that's just not something we would ever be very often. It's just an incredibly unique experience to Tahiti. Again, only in that very brief window, but something totally that if you are a whale lover or an animal lover should be on your bucket list to get out, do a private excursion. Your local guides kind of track them and know where they tend to hang out and will try to help you find these creatures so that you can get in the water with them. Super cool animal encounter. Now, if that's not your thing and you don't want to kind of be out with the whales, there's plenty of more of the friendly locals, as the animals are referred to meet. There are some beautiful stingrays as well as black-tip reef sharks out in the lagoon. And so it's a very popular snorkeling excursion. Take a catamaran out for half day or full day and go see some of these, the stingrays, and kind of get in the water with them and really get to explore. And I think one of the really cool things about Moorea is because nothing is far, you don't have to devote a whole day to this activity if you don't want to. If you just want to do a half day or just a couple of hours, that's easily doable. And in other locations, on other vacations, sometimes like if you're going to go do something like this, it's at least a half day or it's at least a full day because you have to spend so much time getting to a location and back, or everything's close. So it just really makes it very convenient for exploring. And I have a lot of clients, especially a lot of people going to Tahiti, are looking to disconnect, right, from our busy lives, from everything we have going on, and they want to have that chance to reconnect with some amazing things and with each other as they're traveling. And sometimes that means you just don't want to go all day, right? Like they're like, I only want to do a little and I want to have time to rest, or I want to just have time to come back and enjoy the beach. I don't want to do this all day, or maybe I just don't have the energy for that. But I still want to do something cool. Moorea is perfect for that because you don't have to do some of these things all day long, which is fantastic. Other animals that you can meet while on Moorea, there will be turtles, beautiful, beautiful pictures you can get of these turtles in the water, and you can take out a catamaran to go see those while you snorkel. There's some very beautiful coral gardens and very colorful fish. So out in the lagoon, you can take out to do a really cool snorkeling excursion to see these different areas. And your catamaran guide can take you to some different places so you can see some different things and really get a different experience even while snorkeling. There is a dolphin educational center on Moorea, so if you've always wanted to swim with the dolphins in a controlled environment, this is a fantastic place to do it. If you're not an open water person, some people are not, you can go there and do a dolphin swim and at the educational center and get to meet there's some really cool dolphins, or you can take a dolphin cruise and go see the spinner dolphins out in the wild. It's really a fun experience out, with those beautiful Tahitian horizons that are so famous from photos. So lots to see and do for animals. Now, if you are a shark person, and let's face it, there are some people who are totally shark people, you can have your own Shark Week. There are actually excursions that specialize in going out and seeing over 5 different types of sharks that live, on the Tahitian Islands. You can go see tiger sharks, lemon sharks, nurse sharks, gray sharks, black tipped and white tipped reef sharks. So you can actually go and get to see all these different creatures. So you can make your own Shark Week if you have a shark lover traveling with you, and get to see some really cool stuff. So that's, animal encounters. What can you do? Well, of course, you're going to be able to go out on the water, right? People go to Tahiti because the water really looks like what it looks like in the photos. It is that picture postcard, 18 shades of blue, those deep, deep, rich colors, crystal clear waters. It really looks like that in real life. It is that gorgeous. And so if you want to be out on the water, at least some while you're visiting Moorea, and there's a lot of ways to do that. If you like a little bit of adventure and a little bit of speed, some motorized water sports for you, you can take out jet skis. And then again, this is an activity you can do as long or as short as you want, which makes it great. And this is really fun. You can actually take a guided jet ski tour all the way around the island. Very popular to do a full island circle, so you get all of the views. I think that's just a really fun and amazing way, especially for a honeymoon, to get to go do that together. It's just a really cool kind of bucket list experience. Now, if you like being more in the water, they actually have some excursions where you're pulled very slowly by a boat under the water, kind of making you into like your own stingray, right? And it pulls you along and you just get these beautiful views of the coral underneath you. And for some people, they really love the way that is because it's not so much effort to swim. And they really just get to relax and see all these beautiful waters as they're pulled along by a guide. Now, if like I said, if swimming kind of tuckers you out, especially like snorkeling for long periods of time, that is a complaint. I do have sometimes from clients, like, I wanted to go see all this stuff, but I get so tired swimming for that long a period of time. Reef divers are a great option. And these are like jetted motorized, pullers, that's not the right word, but machines that you hold onto that basically pull you underwater, and they kind of take out some of that effort, and you can it'll pull you through all these beautiful coral gardens. So that is an excursion you can do, or a unique way to kind of get down and around and really see some cool stuff without having to necessarily swim all of it. And then, of course, if you want to be back up on top of the water, there's things like water skiing or surfing you can do. It's a great place to learn to surf if you want to go and have that experience. And if you want to go way up high, you can definitely parasail. This is an amazing way to get the best of both land and sea. Parasailing is where they take you up in that beautiful, like you have this big parachute. And I have done it in Australia, and it is one of my big memories. I loved that experience. It was truly bucket list. One of the most fun things I've ever done. And you go up and you're floating, and so you really have all of these high upper level views, but you've been out on this boat, and as you come down, you get the water views. It's just the best of both. And if you haven't ever done it before and you're going to Moorea, this would be a great place to try it because Moorea is so gorgeous. The scenery and the landscaping is so gorgeous. It really is just you're getting the best of both worlds and an amazing way to see both. So I would highly recommend parasailing. Now, if you are not up for some of the more adventurous motorized water sports, there are some calmer water sport activities. Okay, of course there's snorkeling at your resort, and because there's some reefs just offshore many of the resorts, there's some great snorkeling to be had. And if you're staying in one of those gorgeous overwater bungalows, you can literally go off your deck and into the water, right, to snorkel. So very cool experience, very easy to snorkel around. Especially if you don't want to go out, like maybe on a full excursion, maybe you want to stay more at the resort, you can just snorkel right there. And then there's paddle boarding, again, a calmer activity. You can just kind of sit or stand on your paddleboard and paddle. And then you can do scuba diving, of course. That is going to require certification, and those who are into diving know that. But it's a beautiful place, of course, to go scuba diving. So many reefs, so much wildlife to go see. Fantastic place to go dive. Now, if you're not a diver but you want that experience, they do have an aqua blue helmet dive, and that is like this helmet that they can put on you. And you can kind of go walk on the bottom of the seafloor and see things. And I'll bring up a stingray picture for you because I didn't share it with you guys before. Isn't that cool? Like, you can go see this kind of things. Now, if you were wearing the aqua blue helmet, of course, you would be like, you could walk on the seafloor and see these creatures without necessarily having to to scuba dive. So the hose from your helmet goes up to the boat, and then you are getting air that way. So you don't have to have special certification for that. So it's a good option for those who maybe haven't done or can't do. Like, unfortunately, I can't be a scuba diver because of some inner ear issues. That would be a good option for me because I'm not going down to depths where that's a problem. So a good option for those who want to do that but maybe don't want to dive. And, up on top of the water, there are glass boat kayaks, which is a totally cool experience. If you've never seen that pure glass boat, you sit in it and you kayak around. So it's like you can see the animal, you can see all the fish and things underneath you and through that beautiful crystal water, and as well as getting to kayak around. So super fun way to explore. Then there are, of course, like actual glass bottom boat tours. If you don't want to do any of your own paddling, you can join one of those and be on a motorized glass boat tour that would take you around where you can see some of those beautiful wildlife from above the water. And I know sometimes we have families or couples who just prefer that. Some people don't necessarily like being in the water with the animals, but they really want to see and experience them, and that glass bottom boat is a great way to get to do that. Now, we do also have outrigger canoes, which are really cool and unique to to French Polynesia and to the South Pacific in general, where you get to be up on that, double-sided outrigger canoe and get to go see some really cool things, visit and get out on some sandbars. It's a very authentic, very fun way to get to experience Moorea. So a great option if you want something calmer, maybe that's not so jetted and not a parasail, but a really neat way to go experience something and get out on the water that is a little different, right? Something unique. Now, of course, there's tons of ways to sail if you're going to sail. There's catamarans that can take you out to explore the two beautiful bays, to go, again, around the island by catamaran is a very popular excursion to get to see all of it, to see those beautiful mountains and all of those shores, to take you to some more remote snorkeling spots and get off the catamaran, get to swim, get to sail a little more. It's a really fun experience. Or you can take a special catamaran ride that's going to give you a sunset tour. And this is fantastic for honeymoons or special anniversaries where you can get out there and really, like, at sunset, the sun is setting, you have, a nice drink in your hand, and you're just enjoying the beauty of Tahiti, something you won't forget. Absolutely gorgeous and a great way to end a day in Tahiti. Now, they do also have some more sport-like things. If you want to go deep-sea fishing, Tahiti, Moorea will have that. And they do also offer spear fishing. If you're a sportsman, this is a good option for you as well. If you're a fisherman and want to go do some of those different kinds of things. Now, back on land, there's a ton to do. And sometimes people forget that, right? You see the beautiful waters of Tahiti and Moorea, and you're like, well, why would you ever be on land? But it really is. The island is so gorgeous. There is so much to do on land that you can easily go to the interior island and do all kinds of things. So, I'm going to say land loosely here. You could go out, and I showed you those beautiful motus, those beautiful sand rings around the very outer edge of the lagoon. You can actually go have a picnic out on there. Some places have private picnics on motus. So really kind of a once in a lifetime deal to get to go do that, to have a picnic out on a motu. You could get that done. But if you're wanting to stay on the mainland, maybe you're not a big sailor, you can, like I said, drive the island by roadster, by car, by scooter, by e-bike, or ATV, and go see the interior, go all around that ring road of the island. Or they do have a 4x4 safari tour that's going to take you out, introduce you to some of the local flora and fauna and landscapes, some of the beautiful mountains and all of that, in a vehicle where somebody's helping kind of show you around. It's kind of cool to get to see the rugged nature of it and really get to explore the interior of Moorea. They do have zip lines for those who like to fly. You can go through, of course, their beautiful forested areas by zip line. There is a pineapple plantation on the island, and that can be included in several different tours, or you can just go see that. But it's a lot of fun. You're in the tropics. To see how pineapples grow is an interesting experience. You can actually even hike past kind of the pineapple plantation on the way to see other sites. Hiking is another activity that you can do while on Moorea. They have some beautiful hot trails that are going to go through, some overlooks. Some start up on Belvedere Overlook, or some kind of weave through different forests and areas that will really help show you the beauty of the island and get you out into it, walking in it. Sometimes there's something special about getting to walk through the island or hike through it and enjoy those sights and be so up close to all those things. So there's some beautiful hiking you can do. There's also the bays that you can go see, whether you're on a catamaran or whether you're hiking near them. There are trails that will give you some beautiful views of the bays. You can also go swim at the end of a waterfall. Now, there's a beautiful waterfall on Moorea, short trail you can go to get there, and you can actually swim at the base of it. So this is a really cool activity. It's very popular in Hawaii. I have a lot of people that want to do that, but you can do it here on Moorea too. So you can kind of cross a whole bunch of things off of your South Pacific bucket list if you want to swim at the bottom, the base of a waterfall. They do have that in Moorea, and it won't be far from anything, right? One thing you should absolutely do, and because different than a lot of Caribbean locations, most places in Moorea or Tahiti are not all-inclusive. Sometimes they have all-inclusive packages. A lot of times they have breakfast at the hotel, but they are not necessarily like a true all-inclusive like most people would think of in the Caribbean. Because of that, it gives you an opportunity to get out and eat local. Like I said, Moorea, nothing is very far. A lot of the local restaurants will actually come to certain hotels and resorts and pick up guests to come eat. So it makes it super convenient. Transportation is super easy. Nothing is far. And you can go eat at some really cool local spots, get off-site, see some different things, and really get to enjoy, just the immense and beautiful cuisine of this place and some of their award-winning chefs. So fantastic. You get to eat and explore. Now, the hotels, of course, are known for having some wonderful restaurants as well, which you'll get to experience, but getting so easily to another restaurant where you're off-site, this is something too I noticed with a lot of my clients where they're like, I don't want to just eat at the hotel. I want to get out and see some things. Moorea is perfectly set up to go and eat some other places. So fantastic to get out and eat at a local restaurant. You can also catch a dance performance while you're on Moorea. Several of the hotels will host them, or the resorts will host them on property, but you can also go to other places to see them as well. And there are some beautiful spas. All right, the South Pacific is known for having some amazing spas, and whether you're on Moorea or Bora Bora, or there are some beautiful spa experiences where you can really stop, treat, and pamper yourself. I highly recommend that, especially if you're doing a vow renewal or just getting married or whatever. Make sure you spend a little bit of time at least in the spa to enjoy all of the hospitality of Tahiti, and not just be outside. So the spas are a great way to get to experience a different side of the island. Now, the last activity, and if you're counting, we are at, I think, 40 now, is skydiving, okay? And if you want to go by air, we've gone by land, by sea, by sail, by water, turtles, all of it. You can go way up high and skydive. Not my thing, but they do it. So if you are a person that has always wanted to skydive and you may want to skydive over an island lagoon, Moorea can do that too. So as you can see, it's really a perfect opportunity for those who love to explore. Moorea doesn't have to be boring, doesn't have to be like, you can certainly spend as much time in your overwater bungalow as you want, but if you don't want to, there is so much to do on this island, and we help our clients find exactly the right fit for them, how much activity they want to do, how little they want to do, and piece that all together into a seamless, beautiful experience in Moorea, whether that's for their family or just as a couple they're getting away. So I hope that this has given you some inspiration for your Moorea trip. If you would like to work with us on planning your Tahiti escape, make sure you contact us. You can find us at www.thetravelingcompass.com, or you can message us on Facebook, YouTube, we're everywhere, Instagram, we're in all the places. Now make sure if you are catching the replay of this or elsewhere, if you like our content, you can always go up to the link and subscribe to our weekly newsletter. It goes out every weekend. Those VIPs get our very best content and our exclusive bonus resources. So make sure that if you are loving this, that you go ahead and subscribe so that you get more. Thank you for joining me today, and until we see you next time, I hope you travel smart, and it was great to be with you today to talk about Moorea.